Did you know that some of the foods sitting in your fridge right now could actually be destroying your health? I'm not talking about junk food or processed meals. I'm talking about natural foods, potatoes, tomatoes, bread, bananas, honey, everyday staples that millions of people refrigerate without ever realizing the silent damage being done. Refrigeration, when done wrong, doesn't just change flavor or texture. It can trigger toxic compounds, nutrient loss, and even raise the risk of diseases like cancer, diabetes, and metabolic disorders. So today I'm going to reveal the 7 everyday foods you should never put in the fridge, and more importantly, the safe ways to store them so you protect both your health and your wallet. Stay with me until the end, because the last food on this list is one almost everyone refrigerates, and yet it could turn into a breeding ground for deadly bacteria. 1. Potatoes. The silent carcinogen factory. Most people toss raw potatoes into the refrigerator thinking cold keeps them fresh. But here's the trap. When potatoes are stored in cold conditions, their starch quickly converts to sugar. And when that potato is fried, baked, or roasted at high heat, those sugars react with amino acids to form a toxic chemical called acrylamide. Acrylamide has been linked to higher risks of cancers like ovarian, kidney, and esophageal cancer. That golden extra crispy French fry or chip that looks so appetizing, that crunch could be loaded with acrylamide. Even worse, refrigeration speeds up sprouting, encourages mold, and makes potatoes spoil faster. That soft, dark, sprouting potato, it's a chemical trap. The fix: store potatoes in a cool, dry, dark place like a basket or cloth bag, never plastic. Keep them away from onions, they accelerate spoilage. Cook below 180 degrees Celsius, 356 degrees Fahrenheit to reduce acrylamide formation. And whenever possible, eat with the skin, it helps stabilize blood sugar. If you thought potatoes were the only ones ruined by refrigeration, wait until you hear about the food that loses its powerful anti-aging antioxidant the moment you put it in the fridge too. Tomatoes, the antioxidant killer. Most kitchen drawers are full of tomatoes. But the cold in your fridge destroys their cell membranes. The result: watery texture, bland taste, and worst of all, a sharp drop in lycopene. Lycopene is one of the most powerful antioxidants found in nature. It helps slow aging, protect the heart, fight inflammation, and even reduce cancer risks. But when you refrigerate tomatoes before they ripen, the ripening process, which activates lycopene, is cut short. The fix: store tomatoes at room temperature in a basket away from sunlight. To ripen faster, place them near a banana or apple. Their ethylene gas does the job naturally. Avoid eating very green tomatoes. They contain solanine, which can be toxic. Now, if you think refrigeration is just about losing nutrients, the next food proves it can backfire in a way you'd never expect. 3. Bread, the mold magnet. How many of you put bread in the fridge to keep it from molding? Here's the problem: the cold air actually accelerates the breakdown of bread's internal structure. What you get is stale, hard bread, stripped of its flavor, and the moisture in the fridge, it ironically makes bread more prone to mold, especially if it's whole grain or naturally fermented. The fix: store bread in a cool, dry place in cloth or airtight containers if you'll eat it within 2 days. For longer storage, freeze it. Freezing not only prevents mold, but also creates resistant starch when reheated. Resistant starch acts like fiber. It lowers blood sugar spikes, boosts gut health, and helps with weight control. So freezing bread actually makes it healthier. Now let's talk about a fruit everyone loves, but refrigerating it too early can completely destroy its texture and nutrients. 4. Avocados, the nutrient trap, 10:15 to 12:30. Avocados are superfoods rich in heart-healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants. But refrigerate them while still green, you stop them from ripening properly. The enzymes shut down, leaving you with a hard shell on the outside and fibrous, bitter flesh inside. Worse, premature refrigeration reduces the concentration of healthy fats and antioxidants that support brain and heart health. The fix: ripen avocados at room temperature. To speed it up, put them in a paper bag with an apple or banana. Once ripe, refrigerate only for 1 to 2 days. For longer storage, freeze them, perfect for smoothies, spreads, or guacamole. But what about bananas? Most people refrigerate them as soon as they get home, and that's a mistake with dangerous side effects. 5. Bananas. The sugar spike trigger. Refrigeration quickly blackens the peel and ruins texture, but that's just cosmetic. The real problem lies in ripeness. The riper a banana, the higher its glycemic index, meaning it floods your bloodstream with sugar faster. That means insulin spikes, hunger cravings, and over time higher risks of diabetes and obesity. The fix: keep bananas at room temp. Wrap stems in foil or plastic to slow ripening. Eat when peel is yellow with no black spots. Freeze ripe bananas in slices for smoothies or desserts. The next food is a global health hero, but if stored the wrong way, it can literally produce one of the deadliest toxins known to man. 6. Garlic. From medicine to poison. Garlic is famous for its allicin, a compound that protects your heart, fights inflammation, and even has anti-cancer properties. But refrigerating whole garlic reduces allicin. Worse, storing chopped garlic in oil at room temperature creates the perfect environment for Clostridium botulinum, the bacteria that causes botulism, a rare but deadly disease that can paralyze nerves and even be fatal. The fix: store whole garlic bulbs in a dry, cool, ventilated place. If chopped, freeze it in small portions, never leave it soaking in oil at room temperature. And finally, a food everyone thinks is pure and safe, but when stored in the fridge, it loses nearly all of its medicinal power. 7. Honey. The sweet deception. Honey is a natural powerhouse, antimicrobial, antioxidant, soothing. But refrigerating it triggers crystallization. It turns grainy, hard, and many people think it's spoiled. To make it worse, reheating honey above 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, destroys its enzymes and antioxidants. The fix: store honey in a sealed jar at room temperature. Never microwave or boil it. And remember, honey is still sugar. 1 teaspoon a day is fine, but overuse has the same metabolic risk as refined sugar. Most people make these mistakes out of habit, not ignorance, but now you know better. So tell me in the comments, which of these mistakes were you making? If this video helped you, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more science-backed health tips.